So I'll just quickly dive into what's new in version 2 if you're a returning customer, and then after that we'll get into the tutorial section of the video. So there's 6 brand new packs, and aside from the updated tones, there's 4 main differences you're going to find with these new ones. First and most obvious is going to be that the old packs had 20, now you got 60, so 3 times as many presets. Number 2, we've implemented a humbucker and single coil mode, so you see with some of these presets you'll see this HB and SC suffix. So I'm just going to read little blurb in the manual about that, and you see there's humbucker and single coil mode. Because of the frequency and volume differences between single coil and humbuckers, they often require very different setups. In each pack we provide presets optimized for single coils identified by the SC suffix and humbuckers identified by the HB suffix. Use the presets that correspond to the pickup type on your guitar. Presets without any suffix are optimized for both types of pickups. So if you're in here in the preset folder, you don't see anything after, DZL Hi Gain, for example, then you can safely use any pickup type with that preset. But if there is a suffix, you want to stick to what we intend it to use. So HB for humbucker, SC for single coil. And then the basses are going to be laid out in a similar but slightly different way. They are organized by high output and low output pickups. So the high output pickup folder is going to be for things like your active kind of EMG situation. Low output pickups for vintage passive type pickups. And the best way to figure out what's going to work best for your bass is just load one of the clean presets and one of the high gain presets from each folder, and then just A/B it and see which sounds better to you. If you're hitting the correct level that I'm intending you to hit with these, if you're kind of just like riding like an 8th note on the A string with a pretty hard dynamic, you should be getting somewhere between 3 and 7 dBs of reduction on the first compressor in the chain. So just helpful tip if you having a hard time doing it by ear, that's the best way to do it. But let's move on here to number 3, to what we're calling intelligent foot switching. And this is basically, I've just taken all the 6 years of feedback that you guys have given and come up with the foot switch layout that incorporates everything that you've been asking for. So to get most out of your performance and unlock the full potential of the presets, we've created a foot switching layout ready for any situation. You can quickly add reverb, filters, delay, and more with the click of a switch. Note, number / kinds of effects may vary for each preset / unit. So obviously the full Helix is going to have more of this functionality than say the Stomp will, but I took what I felt were the most important effects and made sure that those are available, and then they just kind of scale up as you go up in price with the units. So with all these foot switches, you should have no problem dialing the exact tone that you need for your situation. And if these aren't enough, we finally come out with number 4, which has been our most requested feature for the past 6 years, snapshots. So for every preset, we provide maxed out snapshots on each platform. For Helix, LT, and Native, that is 8. Stomp XL 4, and HX Stomp would be 3. And again, I've just ported down what I felt were the most important ones to the smaller units, and then you have the expanded functionality with the larger units. Now, in my opinion, I think the foot switching is more in depth and faster than dealing with the snapshots, but if you want to use them, they are there. And I think that's about it for the new. So let's get rolling on this manual walkthrough and how to use these if you are a new customer. So in each of the packs, you're going to find a set list file, a cabinet IR folder, and individual presets with the corresponding extensions that line 6 labels those as. And then we've got some information on how to load them into your unit. I'm pretty sure you guys probably know how to do that if you have the unit, but if you need help, it's there. So if you're a Helix, LT, or Native user, you want to use the files that are found in the Helix, LT, Native folder. If you're a Stomp or Stomp XL folder, you want to use the ones in those folders accordingly. Note, these presets will not load into HX Effects or Pod Go. We will have Pod Go versions in about a week or 2 after the release of these. HX Effects does not have amp models, so that's never happening for that. And we've gotten questions about that. It's not possible. There's no amps in there. So loading the set lists, if you want to load all the presets at once, now they have it where you can just kind of Control A everything and drag them in, or you can load the set list. If you buy the complete versions of these, so you would get Hi Gain Heaven, Hi Gain Heaven 2, for example. There's also the complete folder, and those have all the presets combined into 120, and also have the set list that is 120. So you can load all 120 into one of the set list containers, or if you just want to still just load the 60 or mix and match or whatever. I gave you those options, so you can do whatever you need to do with that. Loading IRs, if you need help, IR dialog shows you how to import all this stuff. Just a note, I know that, so there's been a couple issues throughout the years with people getting this error dialog, and Line 6 has kind of changed this a couple times throughout the different firmware updates. So I've kind of nailed down the situation that people are running into and have some notes on it. So if you're using Helix LT Stomp XL, you want to load the IRs with a 48 sample rate. If you're using native, which this is where the issue is happening for a lot of people, if you're using a 44.1 session, you have to use the 44.1. If you have a 48, 82, 88, or 96 session, you have to use the 48 IRs. If you have an 88 or 96 session and you try to load the 88 or 96 IRs, it will not recognize them with the presets. So you'll get this error, and then you'll have to, resave everything with the default presets. And you don't want to have to do that. So the default IRs for all the presets is either balanced 1A or bright X 1A, depending on what the preset is. Most of them are balanced 1A, but some of the cleans are bright X. So you want to load both of these IRs into your unit, and then the system will find and match them correctly. But you have to have both of these loaded, otherwise you'll get this error message. And then, if you want to experiment with changing the IRs after that, you can definitely do that. So for native, the best way to adjust the preset input levels with the input slider. For hardware units, the presets are already optimized and do not need level adjustments. So depending on how hot you have your interface or how loud your DI is coming into your DAW, it's might be different from what the hardware unit is seeing. So you just want to slide this up or down accordingly until it's hitting, the right amount of distortion or not clipping the cleans or whatever. Just easy to adjust it. Again, with the hardware units, it's already optimized. You don't need to worry about that. It will all be working correctly out of the gate. And then we just got some impulse information here. Again, the default IRs are balanced 1A and bright X 1A for each of them. So you go in, got your cab IR, you load 48, balanced 1A, bright X 1A, and it will find all of them. For the complete versions, you guys are also getting a bonus cab. This is not saved as part of the presets, but you can, of course, load it if you want to use it. It's the US custom for the Hi Gain Complete collection, and then the Vintage Vibes collection will have the 2x12 custom as the additional cabinet. Again, those are not saved as part of the presets, but you can load them after the fact if you would like to. So I think that's about it. If you guys have any additional questions, read through the manual, hit me up in the comments, send our customer service an email, and they will take care of you. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the new presets. We're going to have a bunch more packs coming soon, so stay tuned.